Wow, was that ever beautiful of Jenny? That was bad. You must have been getting better by then
I
because
was
you look pretty
definitely-
good. That's just a couple of months ago?
That's a couple months ago.
Wow, you must be giving her a lot of shock treatments.
Yes.
Oh, she
Thank
is
you, Robey.
gorgeous,
That's
gorgeous.
right.
Okay, well, there was a jingle bell. Is that what it's called, Jingle Bell Run?
It's the Arthritis Foundation Jingle Bell Run.
And that's what it was talking about at the very end. And tell us about that. What is that?
Let me just tell you a little bit about it because I don't want to run out of time, and it's really, really important. It's a chance for me to have a voice and give some legs to the Arthritis Foundation to fundraise for research so that the number one fact we have to remember is that we need to find a cure today. Fact. And keep that in mind because we need to save the date, December 12th. And or donate. Please, please, please either come walk, run with me 5-10K, and that's here in Las Vegas at Tivoli Village. And I am the spokesperson and the patient honoree. My doctor, Dr. Young, is being honored, and they picked me to show people that there is hope and that you can help to get better. Take back your life. That's the whole thing here, is to take back your life. Be in control of your disease. Work along with your doctor and have all these great people in your network to help you get there and to achieve that. So I'd like to turn
Want
it
to
in.
introduce Dr. Brewer?
Yes, Dr. Brewer.
Okay, he was one of the main guys on the team, right?
He's another great player on my team. And I always tell people he's my scientist.
Dr. Brewer, tell us how she came to you, why she came to you, what you did for her, and what you can do for others.
Okay.
I mean, what I've learned from you today just is going to change my life. Okay, so it's going to be beautiful. Go ahead.
So I saw Jeannie in the Madame and Monsieur office, and when she came up to me, I was standing outside of my office, and she came up to me, and her hands were curled, and she looked almost like she was going to die. And she says, "You've got to help me." And I said, "Well, what's wrong?" She says, "I have so many things wrong with me. I don't know. I have arthritis. I have fibromyalgia. I'm tired. I hurt all the time." I said, "Okay, well, let's schedule a blood analysis." So what I do is I look at a drop of blood under what's called a dark field microscope, and I do it right in front of the client. So it takes about 20 to 30 minutes to analyze the blood, but it is a visual analysis. It is not a chemical analysis. It's not something you send off to a lab, and it's done live. So I only have 10 seconds to get the sample onto the slide and to start looking at it. So when I looked at Ginny's blood, I could see evidence of a lot of inflammation in her body. Now, that comes as no surprise because she thought she had inflammation, but what I saw was something called spicular stress strands in the plasma of her blood. They look like little hairs. Also, her red blood cells were damaged. They had something called poikilocytosis, which is the equivalent of free radical damage of the red blood cells. This is all very visible, but ultimately, all about arthritis, and actually all disease and illness can be traced to the immune system. So the true solution to every disease has always been based on the immune system. And that is why you're supposed to sleep well. That's why you're supposed to eat well. That's why you're supposed to keep the stress levels in your life at a low level. It's all about building the immune system, having it both strong and active. Well, we can see that in the blood by actually looking at the white blood cells. So Ginny's white blood cells were a little small and they were not moving, which means they weren't strong and they weren't active. Anytime you have an autoimmune disease, which we were talking about with these various autoimmune diseases, it's not that, well, since the immune system is attacking the body, that doesn't mean the immune system is strong or too strong. That'd be like saying if you have high blood pressure, your heart is too strong. Those are false statements. The immune system is broken when the white blood cells are attacking the body. So when the immune system is attacking the body, the system is broken. It doesn't mean it's too strong. So my partner is a Nobel Prize nominee, and he is an immunoenzymologist. And about 15, 20 years ago, he developed an entire product line. There are 10 products, and some combination of those 10 products are used to address every disease known to mankind. Now, that's a very bold statement. I am not an MD, I'm a PhD. So I'm a PhD chemist, and I got my PhD at Michigan State University. So when I looked at Ginny's blood, I decided on a combination of supplements that address all of her problems. And everyone is unique in their problems, but the signs all show similarities. So one of the things that was going on in Ginny's body is she was not completely digesting, metabolizing, and eliminating her foods. So that is a very common problem, and strictly due to aging. So she needed some enzymes. So digestive-based enzymes aid in the digestion of food in the body, proteins, carbohydrates, and fats, which are all macronutrients. So that was product one that she needed. Now, there's also bromelain in the enzyme blend, which is excellent for inflammation. So now she's going to start digesting, metabolizing, and eliminating her food, so at least she can get nutrients to her blood. Now, how does the blood get to the muscles? Well, that's where Robey came in with the electrotherapy treatments. So that is a physical issue, a physical transport of the blood. So this is more chemical on this end. Okay, the next thing was we needed to get her white blood cells strong and active, which means big and moving. So what feeds the white blood cells is a product called Steromax. It was hiding here. So the Steromax is made from sprouts, and the active ingredient is something called glucosides. So I'm not going to go into all the chemical detail, but basically the glucosides feed the white blood cells. So that was item number 2 on her list. Item number 3, she had a lot of inflammation, she had a lot of pain. What gets rid of inflammation is something that puts out fires. They're known as antioxidants. Sometimes they're known as free radical scavengers, but it's the same thing. So there is a blend of standardized antioxidants. Some of them people have heard of, some of them maybe you didn't hear of, like shark cartilage, Norwegian kelp, white pine bark, and then some maybe you've heard of, grapeseed extract, MSM. So this combination, standardized, does a remarkable job at eliminating inflammation. And finally, the whole point is to regenerate tissue. So the best cell regenerator is made from freeze-dried aloe. Once you cut an aloe plant, if you don't have some technology to prevent the polysaccharides from breaking down to monosaccharides, you've just got sugar. So this is a stabilized freeze-dried aloe. It's not something you're going to get from drinking aloe juice. But the polysaccharides in this product are cell regenerators. They're also excellent for people with diabetes. So the 2 main uses for the Aloe Max are diabetes and arthritis. So that combination is what we started you with. And remember, you are coming every month getting 1 bottle of each. Each bottle lasts 1 month. And so that was the standard dosage. Now, since then, you've added a little more.
I did.
You've added some calcium for acidity. So this is coral calcium. And coral calcium is one of the only forms of calcium that will get absorbed in the body. Most people buy calcium carbonate. It's very, very inexpensive, but it's strictly and simply marble dust. So not going to hurt you, but it's very inert, not really going to help you, and not going to break down to calcium ions. And then finally, you also added something for age reduction. This is a fairly new product, and it's called Telezyme. What it contains is telomerase enzyme, and you can learn a lot about telomerase enzyme on the internet. We're the only company that sells telomerase enzyme. We do not sell a telomerase enzyme activator. It's the actual enzyme. The reason you age, you don't have telomerase enzyme. When you supplement with telomerase enzyme, you actually reverse aging.
Really, that's amazing. That's a pretty exciting thing, isn't it? If you start taking this now, when you come back here, people will be changing your diapers.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not.
I don't know.
But anyway, it's exciting. We're going to come back. We're going to hear more from Dr. Brewer. We're going to hear also coming up, Cindy is going to do some exciting stuff for us. See you in a second.
Hey, Cindy.
You are about to meet a remarkable